G'day, Nigel here from Sax School. Today's tip is about having a bit of fun with your warm-up and also experimenting a little bit with improvising. So what I'm going to show you is just a real easy sort of introduction to improvising, I suppose, but something that you can do every day, and you can do it within your ability as well. What we're going to do is take a major scale, any major scale. We'll pick an easy one and start with C major. And what we're going to do is just practice making up melodies with the notes from that C major scale. Now, first of all, improvising is an interesting thing. I mean, I'm going to go into it in depth more in the Sax School. There's a whole series of lessons coming soon in there about improvising. But there's a couple of different elements when you're making up, when you're improvising a solo. There's the notes, and there's also the rhythms. So we've got to try and incorporate both those elements when we're making up our own melodies. To keep things simple though, we're going to use just the notes from a scale, and we're also going to use our metronome. So I've got my metronome on my iPhone here, and I've set it nice and steady at 60 beats a minute. What we're going to do is put our metronome on. Now I'm using that on beat 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we get that nice swingy feel. We're going to start by playing the major scale all the way up and down, but swinging it. So C major scale, I go from C to C, and there's no sharps and no flats. So something like this. 1, 2, 3. Okay? Now what we're going to do is just muck around using those notes, only those notes, and keeping an eye on the metronome, trying to get a swingy sound. But I want you to just experiment using those notes and try making up some melodies and see where it ends up. I'll show you what I mean. This kind of thing. 1, 2, 3. Now you can go as complicated as you want, really. It's up to you. The nice thing about doing this little exercise is that you can start really, really simple. You can just use the first 3 notes of the scale if you want. But what I really want you to try and experiment with is using the notes of the scale and making up your own melodies. Remember, there's 2 elements. There's the melody at notes itself, and there's the rhythms. So experiment with both things and see what you can come up with. And if this is just too easy for you, then you can always go on to a more difficult scale, work your way up to the really tricky ones like, you know, F sharp major, C sharp major, or something like that. So I hope that helps. Don't forget to check out Sax School, because there's going to be a whole bunch of lessons in there about improvising over the next little while. And I'm sure there'll be some things in there that'll really get your improvising skills together, get you up and running with it and confident with it, and that's the most important thing. So have some fun with that, practice hard. I'll see you next time.